All right, it's Friday, time for Friday feedback. If you have anything you want to communicate to me, you can write to info@davidpakman.com. Try to keep it polite. Many people don't. We'll also sometimes feature YouTube comments or TikTok replies, or sometimes we'll hear from someone on Bluesky or Substack. Who the hell knows? It's all fair game. We start today with Gus Dewin, who says, whoever this guy is, he's just spreading more radical left bullshit. Not really an argument, sir. I would rather you tell me, here are the facts that you get wrong, and therefore here are the conclusions that you are incorrectly coming to. I would appreciate that much more, much more than this sort of nonsense. But we do get this sort of stuff. Ron Price wrote in and said, dude, it's April. Maybe lose the turtleneck sweater. You know, Ron, I don't know where you live, but the Northeast has remained chilly, very, very chilly. And when it's chilly, my neck gets cold, and therefore I need the turtleneck. It's actually, all joking aside, just for a second, most joking aside, it's actually shocking how many people are triggered by me wearing a turtleneck. Like, what's the big deal? What is the big deal with a turtleneck? I just don't get it. But the turtlenecks will continue until the morale improves, I think is the way that I would say it. All right, here's Greg Black with something marginally more substantive. Greg says, yeah. I remember you telling everyone that Kamala Toe Harris, so clever, so adult, Kamala Toe Harris was going to mop the floor with Trump. I sure hope you believe your own bullshit, little pack punk, because nobody else does. Greg, I don't know if you've ever seen this show before, but I want to call your attention back to the couple of months leading up to the election. My own audience was getting angry with me. Some people in the audience, of course, not everybody. There were people in my own audience getting mad at me because I was saying, guys, Trump looks like he's going to win this thing. When I came to my audience and said, okay, when Biden got out, Harris's campaign started strong. The polling looked good. It's not looking good right now. I have polling that shows Trump winning all 7 key swing states. This is very bad. People wrote to me and said stuff like, David, we don't need negativity right now. We need positivity, which I have to tell you, I think is just like the dumbest approach to winning elections. We need to be realistic about where we are. How is me saying it looks awesome, guys? How is that going to get more people to vote? So no, I don't know if you're referring to a different show. On this show, I was sounding the alarm and many in the audience were furious. When I was not surprised by the results on election night, November 5th, 2024, there were people in my audience saying, how is this such a surprise? To which I was saying, guys, I've been telling you this for months and now it's happening. So maybe this is a criticism that applies to some other show, but sounds misguided here. Terry Shuck says people are getting paid to hate Elon and Tesla. Damn, all this time I've been doing it for free. Where do I sign up for a check? Easiest money I will ever earn. Yeah, this is tongue in cheek, but it does raise a good point, which is why would you need to pay people to go out and protest Tesla and Elon? Just look at all of the public survey data. Tens of millions of Americans hate Elon and by extension now want nothing to do with Tesla. Why would you need to pay them to just get them to go out and hold a sign for an hour? It just doesn't make any sense. People really do want to express their distaste. And there are people who are trying to destroy Tesla. Now you can look at that and take the Elon approach, which is they're being so mean and Tim Walz is such a jerk. He's such a jerk. Or you can say this is people voting with their dollars and they're saying this is a bad company to support and it's free speech and it's what happens under capitalism. But of course, no evidence has been presented that anybody is getting paid to go and protest Tesla. And when Elon Musk talks about, oh, George Soros is funding it, we're going to find out who's really orchestrating this stuff. It's just Americans, Elon. That's all it is. It's Americans being activists. Martin Snow asks, hey, David, considering how well the Echo Machine is doing, are there any plans to publish it in other languages? It's a good question. So first of all, I have no control over that. My publisher is fully deputized to explore translation opportunities. I know that right now, Germany is a place where there is interest in the book. At a general level, the book is mostly about the situation politically in the United States. Now, that doesn't mean it's only interesting to Americans. People around the world do care about what's happening in the United States, maybe less than some Americans think, but they do care. English covers all of the countries in which we have the biggest audiences. So Canada, UK, Australia. In a lot of countries where we have larger audiences, you have a large portion of the population that also speaks English. So Germany does seem to be kind of the natural next one, but we will see. It's not totally up to me, but I would love to see the Echo Machine in other languages. All right, on the topic of how long will the MAGA cultists stand by Trump? Shefberg commented on Substack. My thought is that as the pain spreads from his policies, that some of his cult will peel off. There is a reason many Republican congressmen are asking for specific relief from these sanctions. They know the pain will have an effect on how some people view the president. Sadly, the damages to our markets and businesses will be long lasting. Does anyone think that Canadians are going to replenish their liquor stores with Kentucky bourbon? This is an excellent point. We sort of talked about this on the award-winning bonus show on Monday. Even if Trump were to say, no more tariffs, we're going back to the beginning of my second term, tariffs are done, you can't undo the reputational damage that comes when you appear to be erratic and when you behave in this sort of bipolar way. And I use the term bipolar not as the mental illnesses, but with two poles, right? Where it's one thing and then it's the opposite of that thing. We cannot undo that is now going to be the perception of Donald Trump. And in fact, Trump just canceling everything only furthers that. So I think Shefberg is onto a couple of things. Number one, we actually would just seem extraordinarily erratic no matter what Trump does at this point in time. And number two, if all of a sudden the tariffs go away, if the US and Canada fix their tariff, the trade war, culturally, are Canadians going to say, bring back all of the Kentucky bourbon, let's go right back to the way we were? I don't think so. Number one, because a lot of these Canadians are understandably disgusted with what Donald Trump has done and aren't just going to go, okay, great, we're just back. We're back fully. But in addition to that, because they would be right to be wondering, is the same thing just going to happen in another month, in 6 months, or next year? So I think the sort of core of this is that irreversible damage has been done. And to a great degree, irreversible damage has been done. Mark W. says, dude, Greg Casar. This guy has definitely joined the list of certain progressives that can message so well and doesn't get rattled. He doesn't circuitously talk around a point and never answer the question like the right does, and lands a reasonable stance to your average voter every time. The Dems need to be plugging this guy everywhere. Great interview again. I think Congressman Greg Casar is great. He's doing the town halls with the right tone and tenor. He's appearing on shows like this one and talking clearly, answering questions. When I ask him, how should we talk about, quote, men and women's sports as defined by the right? He gives me an answer. This is how we should talk about it. I found it very refreshing. And I would include Greg Casar on the list of folks that are setting the right. It's not just a question of tone. They're sort of combining messaging and optics with policy understanding and being able to engage and connect with people. Not the most common thing, right? Even among some of the folks we've had on this show where, they're really good on policy, but they're just they communicate awkwardly, or they communicate really well, but they don't really directly answer questions in a way that there's an appetite for right now. I think Greg Casar is doing some really great stuff, and glad people in the audience are noticing it. Lorian said, the books on David's bookshelf. Obviously, the Echo Machine is there, but has anyone identified the other books? Well, there are dozens and dozens of books here. I've got a bunch of my copies of the Echo Machine on the bottom, but there are so many different books. Some may have noticed the tip here of some Hunter S. Thompson books in the top shelf. What else is interesting or relevant here? Some of these books I've also recommended. Lawrence Wright's Going Clear. You know, you want to know the truth? My books are organized alphabetically by author's last name. This is the nonfiction section. This is just the end of it. So what you see here is it starts basically with last names starting in S, and it goes down to Sergey Young's book. He's been on the show. So this is just like the tip. It's just the tip of the back tip, I guess you would call it, my nonfiction library. Anything else interesting? Oh, here, Jeffrey West. This orange book here is Scale by Jeffrey West. We had him on the program to talk about that book. Charles Whelan's books, Naked Economics and Naked Money. He's been on the show. Those are there. Yeah, it's a mix of stuff. It's a mix of stuff. All right, but enough about that. We've got a great bonus show for you today. We have a great week of shows coming up next week. In fact, as far as interviews go, let me just pull up the schedule. Next week, we've got, everything is tentative next week. So let me not actually tease it. I don't want to tease stuff that doesn't happen. Thanks to everybody who bought my book and made it a bestseller. Please remember to review the book if you haven't yet. And remember that if the clampdown happens, the only way you can stay in touch with me is the one place we own our data, which is the Substack newsletter. So please make sure to get on the newsletter, davidpakman.substack.com, or just email info@davidpakman.com. We'll get you on the newsletter. See you on the bonus show. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what The Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get The Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.